Hey everyone, Horia here. Horia from Transylvania. And this is my second day, so please bear with me a little bit. It's gonna be a fun journey for me, it's gonna be a long journey, so 1 year of content, it's coming up. So today I want to talk about something really special for me. I'm gonna talk about stories, and not just fairy tales or stuff like that. I'm talking about business stories. Every business has a story. Every business started from somewhere, more so the businesses of hospitality that all of us work in. As you all know, probably, or people who don't know, I've been working for my family business, a small boutique hotel in the middle of Transylvania for 7 years. I've been in charge for the marketing campaigns, the marketing department, and now I'm trying to put my expertise out in the world. A couple of weeks ago, I made a promise to my mentor, Gary Vaynerchuk. I made a promise that for 1 year, I'll test continuously on my business, and I'm gonna share with you guys the content that I'm using and what I'm doing to promote our business, more so for the hotel, for the restaurant, and for the event center. So, as I was telling you, today I want to talk about the story. I think everything has to start from the story. I say one thing, a story is like this. You can't change your story. You just add chapters to it. Your story never changes. You can hire as many people as you want. You can hire as many managers, marketing managers, companies, agencies. Nobody can change your story. It's your story. And I see so many people trying to invent something that doesn't really exist when they have everything in front of them. So I was debating with my friend over here, how can I tell you this story? How can I put this in perspective so you guys understand it and understand the power of stories? And I said the best thing to do is to tell my own business story. And there's a reason why we're up here. The reason is because our story, my family's business story, started on these hills over here. In 1994, my father came home one day. I was a little boy. I'm born in 1987, so I was somewhere around 7 years old. He came home and said, "Honey, we've bought the land in Arkia." And my mother said, "Yes, and?" "But look here, we buy the land, we lend it to the bank gives us the money, and we build our first textile company." The story of my parents goes like this. I don't know if a lot of you know, but in Transylvania is part of Romania. Till 1989, Romania was part of the communist regime. So my parents were working for the state in 1989, my mother more so till 1992. So in 1994, when they figured out that they can be on their own and they can build a business for their own, they found a solution about building a textile company, working in law. And my father's idea was, okay, we have to build this business, but we need money. How we can do that? We found a land near our hometown, 3 kilometers away, called Arkia. It was a small village. We didn't have a road, we didn't have bricks, we didn't have anything. It was just a small stable that was for the communist nation, which was nothing over there. And that's the stable that he bought. And he said that he will loan that stable to the bank and get the money. So he did. And they started the textile companies. For 15 years, my parents worked in the textile industry, having at some point 1,200 employees. I'm talking a little bit more about my mother right now because you'll see a little bit later that my mother, everything that it's in our hotel, in our business, in our boutique hotel, it has the soul of my mother because she built it from scratch with the help of a designer, but her soul is daily in our business. So, my father came home. He took the money, he explained, he took the money, he built the companies. We had 1,200 employees. And at one point, he brought my mother here, at Arkia. And when my mother came for the first time, she said, "Sorin," that's the name of my father, "Sorin, never ever bring me here ever again." And my father, he's a pretty persistent guy, and he tried to made her come. He showed her the land. He showed her, okay, let's go in the weekend. They took me in the weekend. So we used the land as a vacation platform. So this was happening from 1994 to 1998. In 1998, my parents decided to build a house over here. A house where we could have a kitchen, that we could have a living room, that we could sleep, and that we could bring the people who are working for us in the textile company to bring them at team buildings. And now I want us to go to that house so I can tell you the story of the house. So I'll see you there. Imagine it's 1998 and my father was here on those grounds building the house behind of me. This house was built especially as I said before, for us as a family to come and have vacations over here, but also for the people who are working for us in the textile companies, so we can come in team buildings and do fun activities over here. Another fun fact about this, and this is a personal memory of mine, is that when I came back from college in 2013 to work full-time at the Manor, at our business, I requested my parents, I told them, I really want to live over here. So now, this is my house, the river house, as we call it. It's my house, and I have so many memories. Now, the next part of it is that in 2013, my father built the stables of the Manor, of the boutique hotel that we have. So, come on, let's go and see them. In the textile companies, my parents had a lot of business partners. And a couple of business partners were leaving the country, they sold off their businesses, and they gave to my parents a horse named Larava. And in 2003, my parents said, where can we keep this horse? And they decided to put her in the old stables at Archia. And debating a little bit, seeing the condition, they said, okay, but this is not okay for this horse deserves more. So they built the new stables. They said at first they will build something small, just for one horse. And as time went on and the construction started, they said, okay, but let's build something bigger and so on and so forth, and let's build a kitchen and so on and so forth. And it came something really big. We have right now eight boxes outside. We have 12 horse boxes inside. And at this moment in time, from Larava starting in 2003, in 2017, we have 12 horses and 2 ponies. Now we get in the fun stuff. We will talk about a small house that we have, that my uncle built, and afterwards we go and talk about the Manor. So let's go. As soon as my father finished the stables, my uncle came from Spain. It was a really interesting thing in the years 2004, 2003, 2004. A lot of Romanians went to work in Spain. And my uncle came home and said, Sorin, I found the technology to build a wooden house. You definitely have to build one at Archia. And my father just finished in the stables. He says, yeah, why not? We have the teams, we have the people, we have everything. Okay, let's start and do it. And behind of me, you see a duplex. A duplex in Romania, I'm not really sure if in English is the same, but a duplex is 2 houses put together, but where there can live 2 families. So we have the garden house, that's how it's called. Garden house 1, garden house 2. And they were built from 2004 till somewhere around half 2005. Now, we are getting in the fun stuff. We are going to talk about the Manor itself. Keep on tuned. In 2006, the European Union was giving out funds to build the tourism in Romania. And my parents in that period were debating on selling the companies, the textile companies, because the textile industry wasn't working that well in Romania. And they applied randomly. And one day my father came home and said, Vali, we were approved, our European funding was approved. And my mother said, okay, and now what? Oh, we are building a small pension with 10 rooms because we also decided to sell the companies and to have some small business that we can work in. And from that small pension of 10 rooms, in 2008, November 2008, when we opened, we had 15 thematic rooms, a big restaurant, and somewhere around 20 people working for us. I'm not talking about the stables, the garden house, the river house, and the 10 hectares of land. Now, we will go and see the pool that was built in 2010. This is gonna be fun. Let's go. Slowly but surely, we are getting at the end of our story. But just before we get there, I want to talk a little bit about the pool. In 2010, after having one year and a half of operating the business, my parents identified that they need to do an upgrade. Our tourists were needing something else to do. They were sleeping, they enjoyed themselves here, but we needed to build something that they could stay more days at our place. So they decided to build the pool behind of me. Another thing that came along with the pool in 2010 was an event center. My parents identified that in our market, in Romania, the wedding business is really big. And it's really enjoyable as well. So we built a wedding center. In 2013, we built the second wedding center, and in 2015, we built the third one. So at this point in time, our manor, small boutique hotel, let's call it like that, is called Archea Manor, has 15 thematic rooms, one garden house, one river house, 3 wedding tents, the stables with 12 horses, 2 ponies, and this beautiful pool behind of me. But the story doesn't end here. In 2013, I came back home. I was off to college. I started working in the manor business, doing the marketing from far away from Bucharest in 2010. And I was building our community, building, understanding it. In 2013, I came home and started working full time. And that was the breaking point when I started understanding how marketing works, how can I build a story. I started understanding what my parents went through, because it wasn't easy in those first years. The tourism wasn't growing that fast. And I started learning. And in 2015, I took a decision to rebrand the place. When I came here, it was called just Conacul Archea, or Archea Manor in English. But I said, here is something is happening. It's a little bit different. It's not an old manor from the 1800s or the 1700s, even though Transylvania is full of those kinds of manors. But my parents decided to build a new one. So it's a millennial manor. And you say, okay, but inside it has a lot of furniture. My mother is really passionate about furniture. If you remember, I was saying that my mother, the soul of my mother is in every small bit of this part over here of this manor, and in the furniture and everything. And because she was really passionate about furniture, he bought a lot of old furniture, reconditioned it, and it found its place in the manor. One fun fact is that in one room, in one of our rooms, my bed, my personal bed from home, she took it away and put it in the manor. When I came from college, I said, "Where's my bed?" She said, "It's in the manor." So this is the small story. And when I made in 2015 the rebranding, I said, okay, our manor is a little bit of both centuries. How can we say it? And I said, okay, it's Archea Manor for contemporary aristocrats, because it's a new manor, but it also has the old part, the interbellic part of Transylvania. Guys, this is the story of our business. And the main purpose why I've done this today is that I want you guys to remember 3 things. Nobody, but nobody, can tell your story as well as you can, because you lived it. It's your own personal story. You can hire as many marketing teams as you want, as many marketing departments, as many companies, as many things, but the only thing that they will do, they'll try to create something that I don't think they feel. You have to feel your story. It has to come from inside of you. So it's not hard. I know that you are really busy, but please right now, take 5 or 10 minutes and just sit down and remember all the process that it took to build your business. Okay, you can tell me, oh, but Jorge, I'm working in a department. Okay, go and ask for a meeting with the owners and say, please, let's stay 10 minutes down, and I want to know the story, but the full story with every detail, small and large. Tell me the stories. Because in today's market, everybody knows that it's all about storytelling. Why force yourself to create stories that don't really exist and create something that you have to allocate time and effort to do it, when you can take something that it already exists and you can use it and tell it with a lot of confidence and a lot of heart and emotion. The second thing that you should take from this is that the story should be consistent. Every article, every interview, every piece of content you write has to consist from the same words, the same information. I can't tell that the stables were built in 2003 and then come and say they were built in 2002. I can't be inconsistent. So when you are telling your story, or you are writing a blog post about your story, or you are writing your story on your website, it has to be consistent every single time. And the third step is really simple. Don't be afraid to tell your story. People will love you for it. People will enjoy hearing other people's stories. It makes it be authentic. It makes people love you. It makes people connect to you and understand what you've been through. Guys, I think this is the second episode that we have. I'm so glad that you are here. I'm hoping that you will subscribe to my YouTube channel. I hope you will follow me on Facebook. Follow my name, Horia George Sabo. And also on Instagram, I'm Sabo_Horia. So I'm gonna post as many contents as I can. I'm gonna test on this small place over here. I'm gonna put it out, I'm gonna film it, and I'm gonna give it to you guys. So, day 2 is over. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you in the following days. Take care, bye bye.